Okay, in this video, I'm going to be last minute predicting the UFC fight night. Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales main card. It's an okay main card. It's actually not great, but it's better than next week. So we're going to get into it. Starting with Julian Erosa versus Miguel Costa. So I think Miguel is going to win. I think he's has a lot more momentum. I think he's solid all around. He had his loss, but he's come back since then. I think a win against Christian Rodriguez is really impressive since Christian Rodriguez has a tendency to beat really good people and fraud check a bunch of people. Julian Erosa kind of does the same thing where he's beaten good people. But he's coming off a TKO win against Darren Elkins, which in that fight, I thought Julian Erosa looked slow. Like, I know Darren Elkins is old as fuck and looked really slow in that fight, but I think Julian Erosa didn't look that much better. I know he TKO'd him in the first, but I didn't like it. I did not like how Julian Erosa looked. He did beat Christian Rodriguez too, which is also impressive. I just think Miguel Costa is going to be a little bit better than Julian Erosa. I really didn't like how he looked against Darren Elkins. I thought he looked slow. I think Miguel Costa is tough. I think he's able to implement his game plan efficiently. He can grapple, he can strike. He's gritty. We learned that. I think he's going to be tougher than Julian Erosa. And I just think Julian looked shit in his last fight. He just looked weird. I didn't like it. So going off of my gut, I'm going to go Miguel Costa to win this. I think Miguel is going to make a kind of a run. I have that feeling. He kind of has that storyline about him where he has his condition, which got him eyes, but he doesn't want to make that a part of his, like, make that a huge part of his personality. I think he's going to get this. I like Miguel Costa, and I think he's going to win. Next, Nursultan Ruzaboev versus Dustin Solsvis. So, Nursultan, Nur, Nursultan Ruzaboev, I think is going to win this fight. He's coming off of a loss, I think, against Joaquin Buckley. I think. Or was that 2 fights ago? No, he's coming off a TKO win against Eric McConico. So do with that what you will. But I think a loss against Joaquin Buckley isn't a bad thing at all. And before that, he TKO'd Cedric Dumas. And he TKO's a bunch of fucking people. He TKO'd Bruno Ferreira. He TKO'd fucking some random dude outside of the UFC. But I don't think. I just think I like his range. I like his height. He is good. He has that super slick knockout where he caught the kick and fucking dropped him. He lost to Buckley, but Buckley's good. And he's, like, powerful. Buckley was able to take him down and stuff. And this is up a weight class for Ruzaboev. I like it for Ruzaboev. Dustin Solsvis is good, but he's not that good. I feel like I don't know. I think Dustin Solsvis isn't going to have what it takes to beat the range of Nursultan Ruzaboev, and honestly, the finishing potential. We've seen problems with Ruzaboev's cardio a little bit in the past. I just like Ruzaboev's wins a little bit better. Stoltzfus is coming. He lost by TKO to Bruno Ferreira, which isn't bad. Bruno Ferreira is very good, and that was a tough fight where they both went back and forth. But I could see him getting finished. I really like the range for Nursultan Ruzaboev in this fight. They're probably similar heights, to be honest, but Nursultan's like lengthy. He's coming off Dustin Solstis is coming off a win against Marc-Andre Barriault, which I don't rate very highly. I think Marc-Andre's old. Marc-Andre did good in his last fight against Bruno Silva, but I think Bruno's done. So I'm gonna go with Ruzaboev in this fight. I think he's better. Next, by either decision or like late rounds knockout. Fuck. Maybe an early rounds knockout. No, I'll go decision for that one. And the Julioso Mikuzel, I'll go by finish for Mikuzel. By maybe rocking him and then submitting him in like the second or third. Next, Sadiq Yusuf versus Marion Santos. So Sadiq's coming back after a long layoff. I really don't like that. And in that layoff, he got knocked out fucking badly by Diego Lopez. April 13th, 2024. That's a year off. A year and then some. I don't like that for him. And before that, he's coming off a loss against Edson Barbosa by decision. At this point, I think you beat Edson Barbosa if you're going to be like really good. Like, I get that was 2 years ago, so Edson still had it a little bit. He still had it. And Edson's no slouch. He's Edson Barbosa. But if anything, I think Sadiq Yusuf is getting worse, and I think Marion Santos is getting better. I know he's coming off of a loss, but it was a competitive loss. Is he coming off a loss? No, but he's coming off of a robbery. That's the whole like narrative behind that, is that Francis Marshall could have won. But how Francis Marshall could have won is through grappling, which I don't think see Sadiq Yusuf succeeding in against Marion Santos. I also see Marion getting better. He's younger. His Ultimate Fighter appearance was very impressive. I thought he did great on the Ultimate Fighter, and he knocked out a bunch of people. He has super slick striking. He has the finishing potential over Sadiq Yusuf, in my opinion. If Francis is, or not Francis, if Sadiq's gonna go for a takedown, I don't think he gets it. I don't think he's gonna implement that strong of a grappling game into his overall game at this point in his career. I don't like the inactivity for Sadiq Yusuf. I don't like his last performance. He got chinned instantly. I think Marion Santos has a ton of power. I think he is very slick, crisp striking. He has a ton of TKOs in his career. I'm going to go with Marion Santos to win this fight by knockout. I think Sadiq Yusuf's chin is kind of cooked. So I'll go with Marion Santos. I also like Marion Santos a lot. He's 15-1. I think he has a lot of potential. And he's very fun to watch. Sadiq is also kind of fun to watch. He's pretty good at striking. I just don't like all those factors that I said before. I don't like it for him. I think Marion is solid, and I think he's going to be improving. How old is he? He's only 24. If anybody's improving, it's holy shit, he's only 24. Yeah, I'm going Marion to win. Next, Paul Craig versus by knockout. Paul Craig versus Rodolfo Bellato. Speaking of by knockout, I can't pick Paul Craig to win a fight until he wins a fight. If you get me. You know what I mean? Paul Craig needs to win a fight before I pick him to win a fight. He has the potential to win. He has crazy good wins. I picked him against Bo Nickel. He has wins over fucking Jamal Hill, Magomed Ankalaev. Crazy submission wins like that. He submitted Nikita Krylov. Like, he has really good wins. But then he has a bunch of losses, and he's coming off of 3 losses to Bo Nickel, Kyle Braujo, and Brendan Allen. Sub, TKO, and decision. So he loses in every way possible. Rodolfo Bellato has a ton of power. And I think if you have a ton of power, you knock out fucking Paul Craig. I think if you don't have a ton of power, you knock out Paul Craig. I really do want Paul Craig to win. And if anybody's going to be dumb and get submitted by Paul Craig, I think it is Rodolfo Bellato. And I really want that to happen. And I'm not saying that's out of the picture. I think that might happen. But I can't pick it to happen until it happens. Paul Craig needs to do something worth anything at all for me to pick him in the future. If he does submit Rodolfo, I might think about that crazy upset submission pick for the future for Paul Craig. Until it happens, I do not feel confident picking it. I wouldn't bet on it, so I'm not going to pick it. Rodolfo Bellato, probably by knockout, is what I'm going with. He has a ton of power. He showcased it in the past. I do think this is a beatable opponent for Paul Craig. But he has TKOs over Ihor Potieria. Like, Ihor's, he gets knocked out, but he's not like, it's kind of hard to knock him out. You know what I mean? So I'll go Rodolfo Bellato to knock out Paul Craig. Sadly, I really do want Paul Craig to win. Next, Gilbert Burns versus Michael Morales. So, the main event, Michael Morales, 17-0, super slick, coming off a win against Neil Magny where he TKO'd him out bad with like a weird, awkward spinning elbow to ground and pound. Not as impressive as Carlos Prates' finish over Neil Magny, but more like interesting of a finish, more dynamic. But the thing about Michael Morales that separates him from some of the other welterweight contenders is he's not getting as many finishes as the other ones, I would say. He gets finishes. He has 3 in the UFC. But he's not as crazy highlight reel knockouts as some of these people like Joaquin Buckley and Carlos Prates. So it's hard to say whether he'll exceed star power-wise or even performance-wise as he goes up the rankings. But I do think he gets past Gilbert Burns. Gilbert is old at this point in his career, taking a ton of damage at this point. Coming off a loss against Sean Brady, I believe. Yep, Sean Brady. By just destruction. Sean Brady dominated him. He didn't finish him, which is impressive because he fucking beat the shit out. No, that's not impressive. I'm sick of beating Leon Edwards being considered impressive. I will never consider that impressive. I think Leon Edwards is shit. But Sean Brady couldn't finish him. And Sean Brady is kind of a monster on the ground. So that is impressive. He's also coming off of a loss before that to Jack Della Maddalena by finish. But as much as I love Jack, Gilbert Burns was having his moments in that fight. He did well in the grappling. I think Michael Morales is just going to be too big, too lengthy, too good at boxing on his back foot, too good at striking at a distance in general for Gilbert Burns in his age, where Gilbert likes to throw hooks shots. He likes to get a little crazy. And he likes to utilize his grappling. He could against Michael Morales. We've seen him have a little bit of problems with that in the past. But I just don't see it happening. I see Gilbert Burns honestly getting chinned. He's 38. I know Gilbert has like a new mindset coming in this fight or whatever he was saying, but I think Michael Morales is going to beat him. I just don't think I can pick Gilbert Burns to win a fight against a top contender until he does. Similar to the fucking Paul Craig fight. Michael Morales is 17-0. He's only won. He knows how to win. Gilbert Burns is 22-8, and he's losing. He's been losing. I don't trust that. I don't trust that for Gilbert. And these surging prospects tend to beat him. These guys that are fucking good, athletic, tall. These welterweights that we're getting now that are like all athletic. He's 25 and he has a 79-inch reach. I think Michael Morales is going to kill Gilbert Burns. Sadly, I don't love Gilbert Burns, but I like him and I respect him. And I think he is one of the OG kind of people. Not like OG, but he's OG-ish. He's like a legend or whatever. So I think, he's in that middle ground of like legend and like someone you don't really give a fuck about, at least for me. But I think Michael Morales is going to win by knockout probably. He's slick on the feet. He has a ton of momentum. Gilbert Burns is the opposite of that. And I don't think he'll impose grappling on Michael Morales. So, Michael Morales by knockout in the first or second, I think. And that's it. I'll see you soon.